Second. Oh, fantastic. The recording has started.
This
We will
meeting
start it.
is being recorded. Okay, let me press OK from my side. All right. Yes.
Okay. Nice. Here we are. Hey, Babus,
This
this is
meeting.
Chatty from Cheers Chatty, and I'm on a Zoom podcast with someone whom I know for many, many years. Okay. If anyone has introduced me to the international beer market, it is this fantastic woman. She goes by the name Obakeng Malope, and for her, beer is a lot of things. Beer is a story, beer is an art, beer is empowerment, beer is her life, and more important, she being a woman in the beer industry wants to bring a change into this world. And today it's my pleasure and my honor to have her on um behalf of Craft Beer School. I'm having her on our session, and let's take it up from her. Hi, Obakeng.
Hi, how are you, Chatty?
I'm very well. First, tell me what is this beer that is there and right in my front of my face, but I can't have it.
Yes. This is a lager. This is a sorghum infused lager, right?
Okay.
Here we have this is the collaboration brew beer that we made in the USA in Massachusetts. The brewing company is called Gentile.
Gentil.
This
Okay.
is a beer. It's a sorghum infused pilsner, and
Nice.
right in front, I was showing you when we started. I hope you can see properly. I have sorghum grains here,
Yes. Yes.
sorghum grains, and next to me I tried to put it in a glass, but it's spilled. I've been mopping right now, but it's a traditional sorghum beer that we're gonna be talking about later on.
Okay, fantastic. So your journey, I see, spans across filmmaking, ancestral brewing, global collaborations, and empowering the youth of South Africa. So
Yeah.
if I had to ask you, which is the one thing that you would like to introduce yourself, what would it be? Would it be filmmaking or will it be brewing?
I always say I'm a filmmaker and a beer brewer not because of I love the other one more than the other, but because of I started as a filmmaker and I went into brewing. It's like you, if I ask you your name, you're not gonna start with your middle name. You're gonna start with
The
the
first
first
name
name.
and then the middle
Yeah,
name with the
not
last name. Yeah.
yeah, but I love them both and I fell in love with them both, and I'm incorporating both of them into my journey.
Okay. So, I would like to ask you when and where did this journey start? I can understand with filmmaking, it could be love for the visuals, but how did
Yes,
beer come into the picture along with it?
yes. Beer came into the picture long ago. I was aware of beer in my community, in my village. Growing up, we made sorghum beer. Sorghum beer is a traditional beer that is made in when we have weddings, funerals, we have parties, we use it is as part of our tradition. And the old people, like our grandmothers, grandfather, they drink sorghum beer for to celebrate those occasions. So as a child, I used to see my grandmother brewing traditional sorghum beer, which is beer that's made from sorghum that's been consumed by every clan here in South Africa. And in other houses, if you get invited to a wedding, they brew this kind of beer. Then that's how I was aware of beer in general. But because I was young, when you're young, you're not allowed to go to a club or a bar. So,
Yes.
coming to Joburg, studying beer, studying filmmaking. So that's how I became aware of, okay, there's beer. There's this thing called beer, and, watching YouTube on how it's made. It used to fascinate me, still fascinates me right now, those beer documentaries. So as a filmmaker, I was able to travel the world. I've been to 10 countries internationally. So it's when I went to the UK, United Kingdom, there's a place called Sheffield. It was a Sheffield Film Festival, and there's breweries everywhere, small breweries. You can see women drinking beer. It's part of not to get drunk, and be mischief, just to socialize. It's like me and you having a drink and
Social
we just
drinking.
chatting. Yes. So
So
that's how I
is
got.
sorghum the staple diet in South Africa?
Yes, it's this thing. We use sorghum for our meal. We call it pap, So it's like let's say you're having rice and fish. We also have rice and fish, but we'll have pap and fish, pap and vegetables, or beef or meat. Or yes.
Okay.
So I mustn't talk a lot about beef, sorry for that.
No, no,
But
that's your country. That's fine. And it's your culture. It's your cuisine.
yes,
It's
so
not
it's a
like we're
staple.
making beef right now over here, so it's okay.
Yes. So what's interesting about sorghum is that we use it for our pap, we use it for our porridge. Children in the morning, the soft part or the soft porridge for that is for people who are elderly, some who are sick, who children, you consume that. And for we also use it for beer purposes as well. But now as we modernize, you can get your sorghum infused, crackers, drinks, power drinks. That's how sorghum has evolved into our culture.
Okay. So if I had to ask you one beer that you would, if you had to drink that for the rest of your life, and that was the only choice that you were given, which one would that be?
It has to be a lager. A lager is easy on the palate. It's very easy on the palate. And even let's say we step further and say a blonde. Even women can consume a blonde because
Any
women are they
particular
don't
brand?
the brand. You
Is there
say I
any
must name
particular
the brand.
brand?
Uh, I'm gonna name a small brewery here in
Yeah,
South
no,
Africa.
any one. I want to see which is the one that you would want to live with
I've
for the
been
rest of your life.
drinking beer. Yes, I've been drinking beer from Agas breweries, and that's the brewery that I've been,
Aegis.
going. Yeah, Agas brewery. They have a nice blonde and the lager, and it's interesting because of I get to see it being made. I
Yeah.
taste the ingredients. I taste the Cara Munich malts and the wort. I get to taste it before they transfer it to the kettle and all this stuff. So it's
As
interesting for
close
me.
as you can get to beer.
Yes, yes. So, all these flavors, all those processes, gelling together to make a good final product.
Hmm.
Yes.
Now I'm going to talk to you about a little about South Africa and
Yeah.
beer culture. That's the next session that we're going to go to. Um, Tell me, for people who have never visited South Africa, what is that
Yeah.
one thing they should understand about the country's relationship with beer?
Yes, I'm from South Africa and you from India. There's a certain narrative about our countries. It's like, what you see in the media, all these bad stories, poverty, this and that. Yes, we have it, but they don't know that we modernize. They don't know that you can go to a restaurant and order a craft beer paired meal. They don't know we have beer events, we have beer festivals, people are aware of craft beer. They are aware of the ingredients. They are aware of the hops that are being used. People can go to wine and cheese tastings or beer and cheese tastings. So this is what they don't know. They don't know that we are so modernized. We are, we're not in the place of like America where I saw, there's a brewery in
But
America
in
where
your own
people,
way, your country is also advanced, just like India. Okay, I mean,
yeah,
you could say America is backward in a lot of other ways, in certain aspects, and forward in certain ways. That goes for every
yeah.
country and continent.
Yes. So and it's yeah, we are modernized, we are getting there. People are starting to build breweries right now, seen as a business. It's seen as a, that thing of men are the one who consume beer and a woman is taboo or frowned upon, a woman who drinks beer. That myth is it's no longer existing. Beer is part of our lives, and we understand the ingredients, we understand the process, and people want to know more about this craft beer.
So, if people want to know more about craft beer or beer in South Africa, which is that one particular style of beer that symbolizes South Africa? Are you saying that yes, we know that this is from that region?
Yes, it's a lager. It's a
Like,
lager,
you should say
yeah,
so.
based on, yes, I don't want to repeat myself but too much, but it's the fact that it accommodates everybody. Let's say you have a party and you're gonna have a lot of people coming here. So you're not gonna, try to cater to each and every person. Okay, you want a stout, I'll give you a stout, I'll give you a red ale,
It's true. There are different styles.
IPA. You just get a lager. You know that you're gonna get a lot of people drinking it, and that's a lager for us. And when it comes to beer and food pairing, you can have a salad, you can have a fish, and those light meals. When you have them, the flavor of the meal is not gonna be, it's not gonna diminish because of the hard taste of the beer, unlike a stout.
Okay.
We can
Um,
we repeat the question because of my camera?
okay. No, I think you answered that. The question was, in your opinion, what beer style best represents South Africa and why? So you said it is lager.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, you want me to continue?
No, I'm going to go to the next question.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
From
Yes.
lager, we are now going to go back to your journey and experience. That's what we're
Mm-hmm.
going to be talking a little about, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of feathers in your cap too. So before I do that, I want to ask you, go back a little bit in time, and
Mm-hmm.
what was that particular moment that you realized that beer is the calling for me? Now that's where you want to be. When did that exactly happen? Yes, I understand it was filmmaking, but I'm sure there some kind of a realization, a calling happened and said, it's going to be beer for me.
Yes, I was selected to be part of the Road to 100 Cicerone certification program. It was a program by a lady from America called Eugenia Brown. So it was
I was
in
going to ask you
America.
next about that. So it's good that you're speaking about it.
Yeah. So for me in South Africa, it used to be 2 a.m. in the morning. Thursday for them it used to be 6:30 p.m. So it
Mm.
was very late for me. I used to wake up and be on a Zoom. It was a virtual thing during COVID. It was a virtual thing whereby they'll have black woman or woman in color who would lecture us, who would teach us, not say lecture, they would teach us about beer. They are in the beer industry. So that for me was like, you know what, they have the knowledge. I want to be like them. I want to have the same knowledge that they have. And that's when I was like, you know what, if they can do it, so can I. I can do it as well. And I will just, that little feeling, it's like you bubbling feeling in your stomach, whereby I can say, you know what, I want to know what they know. I want to drink what they drinking. Those beers look cool. And most of all, I want to teach other people what I
Right.
know, that, beer is not such, an intimidating, exclusive. Yes, the industry is somewhere exclusive, but, once we get more people in, then that's when, people will come with their brilliant ideas and grow this industry. So me being on that program, that's when I was like, you know what, this is it. I'm taking this.
You know, last night I finished a series on Netflix. The name of the series is called Self Made. It is about
Yeah,
a black woman, Madam C.J. Walker. I don't know if you've heard of her.
yeah,
And she, her entire vision was about to make colored women look beautiful, and how
yeah,
she fights against um, racism and
yeah,
against a male dominated society, even amongst the black colored men. Okay.
yeah,
Now she makes a mark for herself, and it's a true story. And by
yeah,
that, she's not only made the women look beautiful, she's also made them look beautiful inside with their confidence and by empowering them. So when I was
yeah.
watching that series, somewhere I thought about you. You know? And my question to you is, being a black woman, have you faced any kind of racism in your career when you're pursuing beer, whether you're learning it or whether when you're brewing it or anything for that matter?
I'm not gonna lie, and also I'm not gonna expose the people's names, but the people in the industry, most of them have been great to me. I've learned, I made friends, very personal friends, dearest friends to me. The racism is not you get it from big companies because of you are a threat, and
Okay.
it's a problem for us. It's just because of, like, you come up with an idea, suddenly they doing the same thing that you're doing, and like,
Mm,
okay, yes, we know, we understand that you have money,
mm,
but I mean, like, you're trying to crush me out of the market. But for me, how I managed to work on myself around is that always have other ideas as well. When you say, okay, I want to talk about beer and cigar pairing. You know that there's no one who has spoken about beer and cigar pairing. Suddenly you see it somewhere, and you're like,
mm.
okay, I see what's happening. But I would tell the truth, they're black brewers. They help me a lot. Because of my journey. You get a journalist who wants to interview you, who wants to talk to you. And I remember a Darius guy, brewer to me. Like, he has a story. He can write a book about how much he was exploited about by this industry. He just told me, Obakeng, the way to go on about this, interviews, is that don't reveal everything. Don't reveal your IP, because of people, even if it's not the
I tell you
specific
the same. Yes.
journalist, is somebody can take that information and make millions out of it, and it's gonna hurt how much you worked on this. So this is the kind of people I'm meeting in my industry. It's just, they are so helpful. I mean, even access to breweries, like, I can walk in with my camera, we greet, we hug, and just get like information. So yeah, the craft beer industry somewhere exclusive. We would like more representation of
To be
people
more
who look
inclusive.
like us. That's why, this education, BIS art kind of thing, is here to inspire, to say, what, guys, come in. Even if, let's say, you studied law, you don't want to brew beer at all, you can come and, help people with contracts. If you studied logistics or media, you can start your own podcast. You can, transport beers from distributors to
There are a lot of employment
location.
opportunities.
Yes, there's a lot of employment opportunities. So that's what I've experienced in this industry so far.
So I'm going to get lead this to asking you about beer education for South Africans. Okay.
Yeah.
That's going to be our next topic. Um, so South Africa also faces very high youth unemployment, and you and I
Yes.
have discussed this at length in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
What do young people often misunderstand about beer as a viable career path? Is there some kind of a taboo, or is it something that people are very open to and saying, yes, let's
Mhm.
explore that? Because it could also
Mhm.
be, you told me a lot of people drink beer and they get wasted, the youth. They don't, they're not employed. So
Yeah.
they don't realize that. So how do you tackle this, and what is the understanding and misunderstanding amongst the youth?
Yesterday I was listening to radio,
Mm.
and there was a show whereby the youth were calling, and let's say for me, I'll call and say, my name is Obakeng. I've studied this and this and that, and I leave my number. So on the radio, so whoever is interested in hiring me can contact the radio stations, which it was said. It said, like, we at that point whereby, you become brave like that. You leave your numbers and your qualifications on the radio station. And I think when you learn about craft beer or beer brewing, they're always showing you the big machines, the kettles, the fermenters at the brewery.
Tanks, yeah.
It's big, and they are big and intimidating. You're like, how would I start learning that? But if you come with a grandfather, you can do it in small scale. And sometimes information, you'll be sitting here and say, I don't have a job and blah blah blah. And I come and I teach you how to make beer and I make you understand. That's when I can inspire you. There's lack of knowledge about this industry, lack of knowledge on opportunities that you can get out of this industry. I don't know if it's done on purpose or well, it's I don't know, but people don't know about this industry. When you think beer, you think big companies. You don't think there's craft. A small craft brewery out there that I can go ask, yeah, look for jobs there. So that's what it's the lack of information, intimidation also, and not knowing how to get in. Where do I start? You
So
get
is
on
that
me?
what you're trying to do through the beer is art moment of making people aware about beer, the careers
Yeah.
and how it can empower you? And there are many more career options within the beer industry other than just brewing beer. Because one assumes
Yes.
that it's like a movie. When you are in the movies, people assume that you need to be the lead actor or the lead actress, but
Yeah.
that's not, they are not the only careers that are options that are there. You can be a director,
Yeah.
producer, you can be supporting artist. There's so many things, that
Yeah.
music, dance, everything that is there. So is that something
Yeah.
that you are trying to also make people aware of through the beer is art movement?
Yeah. This is something that I'm trying to make people aware of. That um this is I was talking to my aunt. Let me give you a sample. I was talking to my aunt, and because of I was filming my grandmother making traditional sorghum beer, and she was like, where is this going? I was like, okay, I'm making a movie, and I'm going to incorporate this with the craft beer being made. It was a lager at a brewery, and I made her watch the film, and like she switched off the TV and we started talking and she started asking questions. I made sure that when I left the house, she understands what's going on with beer. And that, sparked interest in her. So I'm thinking is that way, getting this young people interested, going to places where they are at. And when I say young people, I mean people over the age of 21 because of we have a drinking
Legally.
yeah, legally. And also again, you don't only teach beer brewing, you also advising on the dangers, or don't drink and drive, don't
Responsible
drink and
drinking.
do this and that. Yeah, so you are balancing the equation because of if this information gets into the wrong hands meaning you teach somebody to brew beer and that person doesn't apply for a license, doesn't have a license, and just start brewing and distributing, then you're putting the industry in trouble. And right now, they will find out things to further put a red tape in the beer industry. So education,
Is important.
talking to people, going to mentoring, going to all these youth sessions, and talking about beer. Have them taste the malts, smell the hops, and see the final product. Then
So
that's
you've
when you're
done
gonna
a
spark.
lot of things. Yes, you've been mentioning about teaching, awareness, mentoring. The one more thing that you have done across the world, and that's very commendable, is collaboration brews. You've also
Yes,
promoted your beer is art, like the one that you've done with Gentle, and I see it right here.
yes,
Right here.
yes,
You made these
yes,
collaboration brews where the proceeds of those sales goes into empowering the youth.
yes.
How did you go about it? Can you quickly just sum it up and tell us?
Yes, all you have to do is you do one collaboration brew. You always let's say you started with one collaboration brew, and you always posting, you always being in the media talking. The other ones will come. They'll be like, okay, I saw you on this magazine. I saw you on this website. We want to be part of this journey with you, and you get called. You get, and sometimes maybe you have this kind of brewery, they friends with that brewery, they just refer you to their friends, and you get collaboration brews with other breweries as well. And what was important for me with collaboration brews, sometimes you talk with people, you have Zoom meetings with people and that you've never met, and
Hmm.
it was important for me, to go the to America and meet the guys that I've been having Zoom meetings with, to say to them, hey, I'm a real person. This is what we did. This is where we're going with BI's art. I'm not a scammer. You can taste, you can
That's
see me, you can ask me any question that you want to ask me. So that's how it happened. It was hard. I started that
I'm sure it
idea
was very
came.
tough.
Yes, that idea came about in 2022. And people just kept saying, oh, let's try for next year. This year is not a good time for me. And all this waiting, reassuring, proving yourself, and working hard. That's how we managed to get all the collaboration brews that
How
we
many
got.
how many collaboration brews have you uh, managed till date?
I think eight,
Wow,
8 or 9. Yes,
8 or 9.
yes, we managed to get them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And any more in the pipeline?
In the pipeline, no. I would love to have more in the pipeline, but
Okay.
for now, it's just, right now what I'm doing, I'm just doing this educational docu
Hmm.
tutorials, so that, what, while we're still doing I'm a filmmaker. I can take my camera and go and film an educator educating. So this is what we are pushing out right now, is the tutorials, how blagger is made, how a red ale is made. This is what I'm doing right now, while we still, trying to get funding to really get in the industry. Because what I did, and it was very, I think, a bit of naivety was there. You starting a school is very hard. Starting a school whereby people won't pay anything, mentors need to be remunerated. It's hard.
I'm going to
It's
talk to you about the teaching part, but I'm
Yeah.
going to interrupt you and ask you, when you were saying that you can take your camera and shoot and make films. So you've
Yeah.
done something which is a film on Mama Goswa and Setswana and women
Yeah.
storytellers. That's a documentary that you made. And while you
Mhm.
were filming this documentary, what did it feel, when you were you're highlighting the wisdom of the village, of the women in your village. I'm sure
Ye-
the thought came from somewhere, and you also covered the traditional brewing to a very large extent. And as you said, your grandmother used to brew beer with sorghum as well. So, how
Mhm.
did this entire thing, this documentary, come up with?
All right. So this documentary, I was gonna uh, shoot follow my grandmother.
Yeah.
So I started asking questions. Okay, I'm not gonna have my grandmother only. Let me film other grandmothers, because of, we can have the result is always gonna be the same, the sorghum beer, but some people have different method to our people from our land. So I started looking around in the community and asking names. Where is Mrs. So and so? Oh, she passed on. So I started to see that a lot of people, old people, have passed on. They're not here anymore, because I left my village when I was 19 to go study filmmaking and live in the city of Johannesburg. But I still come home for holidays. So I didn't see, like, really notice that a lot of old people are passing on, and they're passing on with their skills. So my next in me, searching for grandmothers, I managed to find three grandmothers who are willing to talk. Some of them, they were, you know, they suffering from illnesses, or they can't remember properly. So my next idea was to go to an old age home. We call it a nursing home. Sometimes, to get the grandmothers who are there, and they were so happy because of, sometimes children, they send their moms, their grandmothers to old nursing homes and never go visit them and just leave them there. So for them, they were so happy for me to come there, and because they get lonely, to have a chat. I'm here. They don't want anything from me, just company. And we just sit there, we chat for hours, and try to get the wisdom that they have, the knowledge, the education that they have in them, to bring it in this film. And what was interesting in that also is that out of 30 people at that old age home, they managed to give me three people who can hold a conversation, who are able to
Wow.
remember. Because some of them, they old, they old, they sickly, some they can't they have a short memory. So that was also triggering, sad and triggering for me, that wow, we're just letting all these people live with this knowledge, and
Knowledge,
they
yeah.
know how to
That needs to
make
be taken forward. Yeah. So you
yes.
truly represent a woman who is very attached to your roots, to traditions, and like traditional brewing, which you've seen your grandmother doing. I'm sure she's a very big influence in your life. Plus, what you are striving to do and you are doing is taking all this to the future by modernizing it, by empowering it, and plus also being a storyteller through them. And it's not
Mhm.
just about looking at traditional brews and making it modern, but you're
Yeah.
making it them and something educational curriculum, and
Yeah.
also rehabilitating people, and plus taking it
Mhm.
to the world through your collaboration brews.
Yeah. Yes,
So
that's what we're doing.
that's what you're doing.
And yes, that was, and also the core part in my heart is the traditional craft beer, the
Yeah,
traditional beer brewing. This, you can't have a wedding, you can't have a gathering without this. Only our grandmothers know how to brew
how to
this.
do it, yes.
So what's going to happen when they passed on? We have companies that brew this, package it, and sell it back to us. So instead of us making money out of our forefathers' intellect,
Absolutely. I totally,
we
I 100% on that. But
we
I have
buy it from somebody.
one thing to ask. See, you are one person who's doing it. You are the one who's mobilizing everything that is there in the tradition and doing it. But there should
Yeah.
be there needs to be many more Obakeng Malopes in the world or in South Africa, or who need to keep doing what you are doing. So where does education feature in all this? Are the youth in South Africa, Johannesburg, everywhere around you, are they interested in educating themselves through a formal education? Like, okay, I want to learn beer. Do people, the
Mhm.
youth, come up to you?
No, you approach them. You approach them because they don't see the opportunity. You approach
Okay.
them, and then not. th- I think they don't see an opportunity. It's a wrong way to say, to phrase it. But when you are not aware of something, if you're
Mm.
not aware that, what, I don't drink traditional sorghum beer, but if I go to you and say, hey, can I please teach you so you can take over from your grandma? Can I teach you, even if you don't want to brew it, but you can brew craft beer and infuse it with the ingredients that we use for traditional beer? So it's about approaching people, telling people
Yeah.
about these opportunities because they don't know.
Okay.
And I'm starting to see some other people. I saw somebody, a young person, she wrote an article about the traditional beer. That's how far I've seen it. But in terms of making it, no, I haven't seen a lot of people making it. And also, again, and I'll tell you because about my grandma. Every time we go to her house, she would never let me touch the pots, stare, or it's her place. It's her,
It's sacred.
yes, sacred place. So I have to watch her brew it. So also that thing whereby she doesn't trust me, there's no trust. I don't think that the older generation trust us.
True.
with yes, unless if one day, and my sister told me that I must just buy the ingredients, brew it, send to her, and she'll has to taste it. But if I think that I'm gonna brew it for traditional ceremonies here in my family, I might just forget because of the elders. They are the ones who do that. So yeah, there's that kind of dynamic also.
Um, where do you see beer is art moment in the next 5 years, Obakeng?
I wanted to grow. I wanted to inspire others to start it, start something like this. Not
Okay.
to take my idea, start something like this. As I grow and with this BIS art, I start to learn something. Sometimes it's not safe to do something alone.
Okay.
It's me, Obakeng, who's always talking about beer, who's always things become hard for me. But if somebody else is doing that also, I know I can go to that person. We collaborate and we start something like big companies, big liquor companies. They amalgamate all the time. They work together. We are not working together. Everything that I do, I have to think alone. I have to, but it becomes easy when other people come to the industry. Like right now, I have some people. They are people of color, black people. They're starting a brewery. They let me in their brewery while they were, tasting some products, brewing lagers. If it was me trying to go and film in a big liquor company, they wouldn't grant me access. So the more people come, when more people come and start up breweries, start up something, it's good for us. So that we can be together and work together. It's hard when you are the only one who's doing some. Yes, I might say, I get all the interviews, all the attention, but
But,
it's
but but it
as time
needs to
goes by.
scale. You need to have that scalability where your vision and whatever you are planning and aiming to do with the beer is art movement, it needs to go. It needs to see a larger than life picture. And
Yes,
as
yes,
you rightly said, that you can't do it alone. You need more people. So on that
yes,
note, I'm going to ask you something. As the co-founder of the craft beer school, which um, imparts knowledge on beer brewing from basics to business across all careers in the beer industry, if
yeah,
as the craft beer school, we come up to you and say, Obakeng, give us 20 students. Yes, I know you're teaching them traditional brewing, but there are
yeah,
basics. There are a lot more other things in the beer industry that we can teach. Right?
yes,
From what are the basics, what are the different styles, how do you set up a brewery, tastings,
yeah,
sensories, inside and outside the beer. Like we teach everything that is inside
mhm,
the beer, that's the science and the craft, and outside
yeah,
the brand and packaging. If we come
yes.
up to you and say, give us 20 students, we will teach them. uh, is that something that beer is art moment would be interested in?
Yes, we interested because we are expanding the knowledge. You're
Yes,
expanding the
that's
knowledge.
on the
So
same
and
lines
it's
I'm talking about. Yeah.
yes, and especially when we collaborate, it's good for me that they know if let's say I have a competitor somewhere, they know that if they come to me, not only are they gonna get the information from me or now what's that education from me, they
Mm.
can get it international information as well. Then they will expand. They can expand their horizon. They can also come to India or other countries and learn some more. So it's good when we collaborate, we become stronger. Like I bring this, you bring that, and otherwise these big companies they will drown us. They will drown us. If you are alone,
The reason why I'm saying this and why I'm saying 20 students is just for a start. Like a batch of 20
yeah,
students, we can start training right now. As
yeah,
you rightly said, it can be done online, or if they can
yeah,
also come to India and learn it
yeah,
offline as well in person. But what will
yeah,
really happen is one is they get educated, they get
yeah,
empowered, they
yeah,
see a sense in their own future, and plus
yeah,
also the other thing, there are breweries in South Africa around you whom you know, and they can
Mm.
say, yes, these guys are qualified, they have learned. Why not we also collaborate with the Beer is Art movement and the Craft Beer School and do things together? See, at
Yeah.
the end of the day, beer makes the world a cheerful place and brings people together, all for a good
Yes.
reason.
That can happen. That
That can happen. So this is,
yes.
I'm just saying it right here for the world to see that we are ready to collaborate with you and Beer is Art and be an official educator for all the people that you get into our wing.
Yes, I'm well. When you ask me, there's something that I told you offline, but I didn't want to. It's there's something coming up with beer. So I was like, okay, Mazetta. But I told you I don't want to reveal it publicly before it happens. But we on there. We have some serious collaborations. I can't, I knew something's gonna happen. Can't be going to America
Mm.
and going to all these breweries and no one would like uh, pay attention. So come next year, we have some big collaborations. We are going to teach beer
Oh,
brewing. Yes,
fantastic. And we would love to be a part of your movement as well because
of course, of
we
course.
also believe in education and empowering people. So that was a fabulous session. But before I go, I have one last question, which I call it one for the road. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe let's make it two for the road. Okay.
All right, no problem.
One for the road is the first one comes is if you had to give India a beer from South Africa, which one that would be? And if you had to take a beer from India to South Africa, which one that would be?
Can traditional beer be in the
Okay,
like in the not craft beer but traditional beer?
traditional beer. Okay, then there are
Okay. Oh no, I'm asking a question
oh
because
you
of
asked
the
yeah there are
yeah.
a lot of traditional beers. There, I'm not talking about the commercial ones or the craft beer ones. Like there are Northeast, there are beers that are brewed in bamboo. You know,
Oh,
Yeah. And there are
yes,
rice
yes.
beers. They are very, very traditional. And I'm saying that because that is something that you will really like it.
All right.
I'm going to tell you exactly the name right now. While I knew the name, but I'm just going to Google it and I'm going to be honest about it. Beer
Yeah.
in Northeast Road
Oh.
in.
So while you're Googling it, can I answer the question?
Tell. Yeah, okay,
Yes,
tell me.
yes. I will give you traditional sorghum beer and
Okay.
the sorghum infused lager. So I
Okay.
will give you a taste and also the sorghum. I want you to
Okay.
taste the sorghum. I want you to taste the traditional beer, and I want you to taste the sorghum infused pilsner or sorghum infused lager to see to taste to see how good of a job
Hmm.
that we did. So you can see that we can incorporate beers from the past, from our tradition into the modern beers. So this is what I want to do to you guys to do. And for if I was to take a beer from India, I would like to taste Kokam infused beer. I
Oh,
would like to
yes.
taste Kokam.
That's
Yes, and the beer that's made from it has chocolate nibs in it.
okay.
Chocolate. Yes, I saw it is in India or infused with Indian teas.
Indian teas, yes.
Yeah, yeah. I would love that. Especially Kokam. I have to taste it.
Oh, lovely.
I've never
Yeah, we
tasted.
had spoken about this earlier as well. I remember one of our conversations. And speaking of the Indian beers, one thing that I do realize is people are going back to tradition and trying brewing beers with local ingredients like
Yeah.
seasonal and local with spices, herbs, kokum, uh, different kind of spices, star anise, cinnamon. There are a whole lot of ones that people are doing. Also, which is whatever is available locally. And when I was telling you about the bamboo one, it's called Zuto, which is made in Nagaland,
Okay.
and the other one is Apong, which is again in Assam. These are the
Oh,
ones that are made in a bamboo straw or jars and cups. So
that's
that's and they're quite probiotic rich as well. So and
mm,
millet beers are there. So there are lots that are there that we could give South Africa from India, because India
yeah,
has many Indias within one India. Every region is so different and so diverse.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Even
yeah, yeah.
within
There's
one
a,
state, it is very, very different.
that would be so cool. That would be so cool. Yeah, I would love some to taste and to, give to my students to taste.
Absolutely. And I want to see you. We've always been speaking over WhatsApp or to Zoom or to
Yeah.
MS Teams. Someday we will meet. There's a reason why
Yeah.
universe has got us together.
Love. How do they do the love?
I- Yes.
That's-
Okay, one last question, which I'll need three words from you. If I
yeah.
had- if I asked Obakeng to describe herself in three words, what would they be?
Hardworking,
Mm,
brave,
mm.
and I'm invested in my career. I don't have a life. Mm.
Okay.
I don't have a life. Like, see, it's festive. People are, you can hear music from the other. People are having fun. I'm on my computer.
Huh.
I want to get these projects going. Yeah.
And you are going to get the cheers to that. You've been doing that consistently, being so focused. I assure you, you're going to get where you want to. And so is Beer is Art. And we're going to be
Yeah.
helping you as Craft Beer School.
Yes. And also my advice to you is that go to America. Go to
Okay.
America. Visit the brew. Like, you know what I did? I was just there going to breweries knocking. Hi, my name is Obakeng. I'm from South
Huh.
Africa. This is a beer. And just pitching my ideas. Like I got business. Like my film was screened at the beer festival in
Fantastic.
Philadelphia. It was screened at the brewery in it's Montclair Brewery at Montclair in New Jersey. So in Philadelphia, it was the Human Robot. For a beer festival, so we have to get ourselves out there.
I will
We
be
have to
there.
go
And
to,
I might be visit. I'm planning to visit America
yeah,
probably next year, the year after that. But
yeah,
when
yeah.
I do, let's see if we both can meet out there.
Of course, of
Yeah,
course, of course,
we
of course,
plan it
of
together,
course.
and we
What
can go brewery hopping, beer hopping, and do a whole lot of
it
stuff.
was good. No, their beers are amazing. No, I'm not, their beers are amazing. Like you can go to a brewer and do yoga. They have brewing yoga. They have like some breweries. It's like a theater mixed with a brewery or a circus with a brewery. Like those guys,
That's why they say beer in everything, and that's what we believe in at Cheers Chatty. That there's beer
yeah,
in everything, not just in beer, but it's also in life and in the light of
yeah,
life. So,
yes.
Obake,
So Chetty,
tell me,
I don't know if I must talk to you off camera or on camera about this.
tell me.
There's a question that I have to redo. Otherwise, the one about have you ever faced racism? I think I talked about the big companies there. I think I'm gonna be in trouble.
In
I'm
India?
yeah. I think the answers if you ask me, okay, okay, have you faced racism? I was supposed to with a big McDonald's smile. Yeah, no, I've never faced racism. Boop.
No.
You,
See, I'm an
you,
Indian.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm an Indian. I'm in India. Okay. And I have never faced, I mean, there's no racism here because I'm
yeah,
just.
yeah.
You're asking me if I faced it in US or in any other countries that I have visited? No. Okay.
Well, for me, I think yeah, but most of the time when journalists ask me, I always lie. Because these people, they're very dangerous. They can close my path.
But I'll tell you one thing, okay? People do ask me this, that do you face any kind of discrimination because
Mhm.
you are a woman in the beer industry. Has that ever
Yeah.
happened? Okay. And that has also not happened to me. I'll tell you for two reasons. One is because I work on the outside of the beer industry as a podcaster and as an educator.
Mhm.
Therefore,
Mhm.
and as an educator, you're put up on a pedestal. And as a
Yeah.
podcaster, you're the one who's asked. I'm the one who's asking questions. So there's no racism.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so I don't, and plus the fact that I come from an advertising background, I spent
Yeah.
time, the maximum time of my career in advertising, which
Yeah.
is equal to men and women, because
Yeah.
over there you just need to pull the cart, and it does not
Yeah.
discriminate in terms of what gender you are, how long you're working. You have to do it. So therefore, I have
Right.
never faced it. But however, when I do podcasts with women, when I started doing podcasts, I started by interviewing with the women in the beer industry in India. And many of
Oh
them
yeah.
tell me that they have faced it. Okay. So it's not as hunky dory and rosy as it seems. But there are places where we all have, been facing
Yes.
challenges, I would say.
Yeah, but in your journey when going up, you don't want to ruffle feathers alone. Even if it's a true, you just say, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. But yeah, it's okay. I trust you. I know you're gonna edit it, but you may make it look nice. No,
No, I'm not going to
yeah.
edit. Nothing of this of a conversation is going to get edited. So we don't want to be look all pretty and rosy out here. It is what it is, and maybe that's how the world is going to take notice of us. So don't worry about it. You've not taken any names, but you have conveyed saying this is what the industry is. So be it. Yeah, I have told you there is discrimination for women, for some women who have been in the industry, in the beer industry in India. So big deal. That's a fact. Why should we shy away from it?
Okay, okay,
Okay. So don't
okay.
worry about it. Nobody's going to get into.
Okay, I'm worried, but it's okay. I shouldn't have said talked about the big guys.
No big deal. It happens everywhere. Don't worry about it. Okay. So on
Mhm.
that note, thank you so much, Obakeng. And most importantly, thank you for reminding us that beer is not just a beverage. It's a legacy, it's a livelihood, it's a living story, and you've been living that story. And
All right.
as we already spoke of the beer education, we are really looking forward to some great opportunities together and raising a toast to education and empowerment and a lot more stories. And yes, the world that we create, we don't need to shy away from anything or feel everyone is an equal out there. Just like the way beer as a beverage treats everyone equally, the industry also needs to do that. And it does it in its own way in certain places. And certain places where it doesn't, it will learn with time. And we will make sure it does. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
And I'm going to just be on record, be online. I'm just going to just stop the recording. Okay.